Kansas will keep head coach Slacker Gaming for this upcoming year, but with most of the star players leaving last year's team and losing their starting quarterback to health problems, did Coach Slacker Gaming recruit enough to fill those gaps? And did the players of last year become better to make this another national title contender? Welcome to 688 The Bull, Kansas Jayhawk football press conference with Kansas head coach Slacker Gaming. Coach, the schedule looks really tough this year, facing top 15 ranked Utah in the first 2 weeks, and then a top 10 ranked Ohio State in week 4 and Stanford in week 8. What was the thinking behind such a tough schedule? Well, when you sit down and talk schedules, we take a look at teams that we think would test our abilities and coaching style, and we want to play teams that we feel like our guys can learn something from, and these teams give us that. And we feel like the 3 out of conference teams we are playing will help us learn and grow as a team. I mean, the biggest thing to do is test them early and see what they can do, and you kind of get to know your players early on rather than coming into some big games later on in the season and not really knowing what your players can do. Do you think there will be a problem because of all the young starters and players on the team? Never has before. Every year we have new freshmen or transfers or whatever. Every year they grow and learn and put together a great season. When I decided to come back here, and when I recruit, I go after players that want to win and build something bigger than themselves. I build a full team and not just stars. Yeah, I mean, some of these guys become stars, but we want guys in the locker room that care about each other and the team and not necessarily themselves or accolades. So you saw that with Zapp last year winning the Heisman and winning a couple of other things like the Walker Award, and all he cared about was how his teammates were doing and what they were winning. So we have a ton of upperclassmen guys that help the young ones along the way, and everyone here wants to win and knows that if they play hard, they will win, and they will be and they will get the recognition from that. Speaking of young talent, last year you were able to bring in another top 3 recruiting class, something that you've done here a lot at Kansas. What do you think Kansas and yourself do so good to get those top recruits every year? I think the biggest thing is that we, as a coaching staff and me as a head coach, we love our players. We want them to succeed not only in football, but in life. When you're coming to Kansas, you have to put your classwork and life things before football. And we build a team atmosphere that helps each other grow. And we don't care about accolades here. Again, look at Ben last year. He won a Heisman and set so many records that might not ever be touched or broken. Yet he is talking to freshman linebackers about where to buy bed sheets at. So all the players love this team and love each other, or you really don't make the team. We are unselfish, and I think that speaks a lot to the recruits. Plus, they know what they're coming for and what will keep them here. And I think the biggest thing is that gets us these new recruits is that they see our players and what they're going through, and they see a family, and that's what a lot of young recruits want is just a family, being away so far away from their original family, and we have a lot of family days and stuff that we love for the recruits' families to come up and see them and everything. And so yeah, we try to keep family close to our heart, and I think that speaks a lot to our recruits. How do you feel like your team will do this year? What are your expectations? Last year, we wanted to win it all. We wanted the national title, and now that we have it, we want more. While I'm the head coach of Kansas, we want national titles, plain and simple. We believe we can field the best team in the nation every year, and we think that we can continue to bring these recruits in here that are going to allow that to be possible. So, as far as expectations, I mean, what coach wants their expectations to be? Oh, I would just want to win a couple games. Like, we come here to win. Like, that's what I was hired for. I came here to win and rebuild this program, and that's what I want to continue to do. With the new additions to the Big 12, do you feel like there's a lot of easier games this year in your schedule? Well, like you said earlier, I mean, we're playing Ohio State early on. We're playing Utah early on. I mean, we're playing these teams to try to kind of fill out how we're doing and how we're going to perform in the Big 12. A lot of the teams that came in aren't that bad. They're really talented. And that's, again, one of those things about being in the Big 12 is these teams are going to start getting better and better recruits because people want to go to Power 5 conferences. And so, I mean, they might be down for a couple of years or whatever, but they're definitely going to make their way up. You've seen what like Houston has done. I mean, they played decent last year. They had a pretty good record, and they've already signed a pretty good recruiting class. So I think it maybe this year that there's not going to be as many high end, like it won't be any, as many top 10 teams necessarily out of the Big 12. But I do think in the next 3 to 5 years that the Big 12 is definitely going to be back to where they were and even better now that we have more teams. And I feel like we have more players that are coming into the Big 12 that can really boost this conference. Coach, I know you said that you have a couple of freshmen in there for quarterback trying to fight for a position. Is either of them really stepping up and showing they can lead this team? I mean, both are playing well. I mean, I think that we have three freshmen there that are trying to fight for one position. And I think that what we can do is utilize our quarterbacks to the best of their ability, whether that be, using a quarterback in a certain situation, or if it means that we just run one quarterback out there, we'll have to kind of see as the season progresses. In the preseason, though, we've seen a lot from both Blanton and Wright, and so I feel like they both deserve the chance at that starting quarterback position. So you'll see them kind of move around, and we'll see who can kind of put their foot forward and kind of take over the job there. So you lost a lot of wide receivers last year. How are the freshmen looking in this wide receiver core? It looked great. Campbell is everything we thought he would be. I mean, he's just a big dude, and Moore came into camp and has just done really well. So yeah, we're excited about what we got for recruits. Joseph, again, not too far behind. So that's probably our starting four with Weems being there. Is Campbell, Moore, and Joseph, and they'll probably see most of the snaps when it comes to wide receiver packages that allow up to 4 or 5 wide receivers. But no, I'm really happy with what we've seen from the wide receivers, and I think that the offense will be a little different than it was last year. I think we know what we still have in Zap, so I think he's going to be a majority of the offense. But Bailey's played very, very well as well. So, we'll see what it kind of brings. And I'm not trying to give too much away here, so I can't fully answer it. But yeah, we definitely got a really good young group of wide receivers that I think are definitely pushing each other to try to get some more playing time. And I think that only benefits everyone when you kind of have that competition going on in the wide receiver core. Thank you so much, Coach. This is 688 The Bull, Kansas Jayhawk Football Radio. Next week will be the start of the season. We are entering week 1, and Kansas Jayhawks will be playing the Utah Utes. So we'll have to see in a top 10 matchup already early in the season how Kansas will be playing. This is 688 The Bull, Kansas Jayhawk Football Radio, and we will see you guys next week.